Hey film fans, and welcome to my review of the 2017 film Journeyman. Journeyman is written by, directed by, and stars Paddy Considine. The film's cast also includes Jodie Whittaker, Paul Popplewell, Tony Pitts, and Anthony Welch. The story of Journeyman centres around an ageing boxer who wins a title fight by default. In order to prove that he deserves the belt and is a worthy champion, he takes a fight from a young up-and-coming boxer and unfortunately, as a result of this fight, suffers a brain injury. The remaining film deals with the consequences of this fight and the impact that injury can place upon not just an individual's life, but their network of surrounding people. In other words, the film focuses on the strain that injury can place upon relationships between family and friends. While the story of Journeyman deals with tragic injury, the story does not have an anti-boxing message, and this is made very clear from Paddy Considine's direction. Ultimately, Journeyman is about inner struggle, changing relationships, and rehabilitation. Another core concept of Journeyman is the feeling of being trapped. Initially, our main character, Matty Burton, who is played by Paddy Considine, feels trapped in his own body. This in turn makes his wife, Emma, who is played by Jodie Whittaker, begin to feel trapped in her own home. To complicate matters further, Emma and Matty have a daughter, whose name is Mia, and Matty does not recognise his daughter, and in fact when he first sees his daughter, he doesn't even know what she is. Not only is this heartbreaking because Matty has lost most of the memories he shared with Emma, but it means that Emma has to re-educate Matty about life. This leads us into an interesting change in their relationship dynamic. Their relationship becomes more of a teacher and a student rather than a husband and a wife. Additionally, Emma is Matty's only source of care outside of the hospital. This brings us to one of my favourite elements of the movie, which is a reoccurring photograph that we see of Matty's friends and himself after a boxing match. And Matty asks the question, where are his friends from the photograph? I love this element and I'm not going to spoil it for you here, but the relationship between the friends, Emma and Matty, is absolutely beautiful, it's complex, and it's very realistic. Like, I can relate to all people in this situation. During a brilliant interview with Film 4, which I will link below in the description, Paddy discussed how an early draft of the script had a huge outpouring of support for Matty after his injury. But he felt that this wasn't as interesting because in this version of the script, Matty didn't really have to do things for himself and he just sat there. This caused Paddy to change the script into what the film is today, and although the boxers who read this draft believed that their team would be there to support them during an injury, I have to say I do think there's a difference between saying you will do something and what actually happens in real life, because unfortunately we are all very busy with our lives, and while we can be there for someone for a certain amount of time, eventually we do have to go back to living our own lives because we have responsibilities. And I think that this makes for a really interesting conversation and is one of my favourite things about Journeyman. That's the beautiful thing about Journeyman, is that it's ripe for conversation and it forces the viewer to really think about brain injuries and the stigma behind them. It also makes the viewer think, what if this happened to me or one of my friends? What would I do? What would I really do? Because this movie shows how hard it is. You watch the events play out on screen in such an authentic way that you really feel like you were present for these events and that you understand the struggle. Obviously in real life the struggle would be way more difficult than watching a movie, but I really do think that this movie is important for making the viewer really think about injury and rehabilitation. Now, it'd be remiss if I reviewed Journeyman and didn't discuss Paddy Considine's amazing transformation into Matty Burton. He really disappeared into the character and it's evident from the moment you see him on screen. The performance is very layered. He starts out as an ageing boxer who feels he has something to prove, and then initially after his injury, he's almost like a toddler who has to relearn everything about the world. He's scared, he's curious, and at times he's angry. I think with a transformative performance like Paddy Considine's, it's very easy for people to forget to mention the rest of the cast, but that's a huge disservice to the movie because the rest of the cast are phenomenal. Jodie Whittaker delivers a very relatable performance, and I could always understand her character's motivations throughout the movie and sympathise with them. It's also very easy to understand why Matty loves Emma. You really feel the on-screen chemistry between Paddy Considine and Jodie Whittaker. Additionally, it's devastating when Emma is so close to Matty and yet she is searching for the man he used to be. It just shows that even when you're with someone you can feel totally alone. Now, it's very difficult to talk about the rest of the cast without going into spoiler territory, but just know that they do an excellent job and that their performances are rife with internal struggle and conflict. I also want to acknowledge the extras who played the physiotherapists at the hospital. They were real life physiotherapists and they were very convincing on screen, so I think they also did a fantastic job. Finally, I want to give you my concluding thoughts on Journeyman. This is a tragic but deeply moving film, and it is absolutely food for thought. I saw this movie last Thursday at the IFI and today's Tuesday. Every night I go to bed just playing out the situations and thinking about it. And that is what makes this film more than just entertainment. It's art. I think it's a testament to the quality of the film because I don't usually record reviews, but I really wanted to talk more about this film and I wanted to share it with people. I really want people to go see this and experience it. It's very clear that Paddy Considine and the rest of the cast put a lot of work into making this piece of art, and it should be witnessed, it should be experienced. You need to live through Journeyman. I highly recommend going to see it. Okay, so that was my review of Journeyman. If you enjoyed the video, could you please like the video and maybe subscribe if you want to see more from me? Also, leave a comment letting me know if you've seen Journeyman or if I was able to pique your interest, because I don't usually make reviews and I want to know what I can do better. And ultimately, that was the goal of my channel. I really want to encourage people to watch different movies and expand their watch list. So let me know if I'm succeeding. Thank you. Bye.